Hello, Tom Zarinskis here, talking about Truespel and the overall popularity of U.S. English phonemes in print and ways of traditionally spelling them. Now, this chart is going to tell you everything you need to know about phonemes in general media, the amount of phonemes on a page, and the phonemes, if that's akin to the phonemes we say in everyday speech, if we speak a lot like dictionary pronunciation, which Truespel does. So what I've done is taken the top 5,000 words of the English language, and that equivalates to 52 million instances in a database collected by Collins Cobuild. The top word, though, was 1 million times. So this is a big database, and it enabled me to respell the words phonetically in Truespel, which is regular letters, and it can be used by spreadsheets. And what you see below is a spreadsheet formulation of these phonemes. All the phonemes of U.S. English are here, and they are spelled by Truespel, and we have a count of the top 6 ways, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth ways of spelling each of the 40 phonemes. Note that a -e means silent E form. None means that there is no spelling of a sound, especially a Y sound. A tilde indicates that this is a phoneme, and a box indicates that how the phoneme is spelled in Truespel. Let's look at the top 20, and we'll go down the list and go over how in traditional spelling, in Truespel, that these sounds are spelled, and we can discuss several of these. They're very interesting. The letter N is number 1, the most popular. Here are the counts of the phonemes. Here it's spelled 2 different ways. The first way is with the N sound. N is spelled by the letter N, and also KN for 40 instances, 40,000 instances. These instances are times 1,000, as you see here, times 1K. And the next is the sound. There's a big influence by, you wouldn't believe that the letter E spells the sound the most, but the word the is taken as, for every instance, having the sound, because it is not known when it's supposed to have the E sound before a word beginning with a vowel. And so we have other instances of how the sound is spelled, and Truespel goes with the letter U, as you see here, to spell the sound. It's pretty intuitive. There are so many words like nut, gun, bug that have the sound, especially in the middle of a word. But at the end of a word, it's usually the letter A. And oftentimes it's the letter O. So they have to pick one, and this is the best one to pick, because the letter A goes with the A sound, and the letter O goes with too many sounds to have a selection. Now take a look down this list here. This is the first most popular way of spelling these sounds, and you'll see Truespel selects them most often for their spelling of that sound. Note that you can pause this presentation at any time and look at these spellings of various sounds. And you have the popular, let's see, these are the spellings of the sounds. the very first most popular spelling has the most hits, and the second and third, fifth, these are the total hits, total instances of the sounds. This is the percentage, and this is the running total of the percentage. So the N sound is 8%, the sound is 7%, also 7%. And this here is the Truespel boxed. So this number would go with, Truespel takes the most popular sound, and we're counting these box numbers. The Truespel spelling is what we're counting here. So now you see the top 20 phonemes goes down to here, and not too much to discuss except the letter R in this case is the R alone, not combined with the OR, ER, or AIR, which are phonemes separate from them. And let's see, we have interestingly, the E sound is by the letter E, most often spelled by the letter E itself. And the double E is here, the letter Y at the end of a word. Y is spelled about 80% of the time as a vowel and not as a consonant in Truespel, traditional spelling. The TH here is the voiced TH, the, as opposed to thin. That's another phoneme separate. This sound here, the A sound as in man, when you hear the A sound, it's more than 99% of the time spelled by the letter A. So the letter A has got to be used to spell the A sound as in man. Let's see. The Z sound, very interesting, is spelled mostly by the letter S. The reason for that is plurals. You often hear a plural spelled with the Z sound rather than the S sound. As a matter of fact, the letter X, like in exist, spells the letter Z sound about as many times as the letter Z does. K sound is most often spelled by the letter C more than the letter K. W sound is spelled with a W, and then the WH sound. The WH sound is always in Truespel taken just as a W sound, not as a HW sound. That's an R influenced vowel. It's the sound actually. A oo. Note that oo, as in true, blue. That is a minor form. So what I've done is to box the UE here as the spelling of the phoneme. The letter O spells the oo sound the most, and one word influences that. It's TO, the letter 2. The V sound is most often spelled by a V, but the word of is a big interloper here. And if the word of were spelled with a V, then it would be totally consistent. All right, let's go to the next 20, and we'll go to the summary. Let's see. 2021, we have very consistent, a lot of consistency on the consonants, as you can see. And on the vowels, this is IE as in pie, is a minor form. The letter I itself, with the word I, is the most prevalent. The ah sound is a real toughie. The letter O spells it more than the letter A, about twice as often. But the letter A the letter O is too duplicitous. Like, for instance, for the oo sound, it's the most prevalent way to spell the letter oo. And if we look at a lot of other sounds, the letter O sound, it's the most prevalent way to spell the O sound, as in go, and at the end of words, potato. So the letter O cannot be used for that, to spell the ah sound in sob, even though it mostly represents it, as in Tom, Mom, Bob, words like that. So the double A is used, which is consistent with spellings in other languages. Another problem is the long vowel A, as in the word may, and it is not even in the list, so this is boxed as the way to spell it. Note that the long vowels are trailed by the letter E. Think of it as the silent E moved up to the vowel it makes long. So we have A, E, I, O, and oo spelled ending with the letter E for the long vowels, even though it is not very consistent with the way that it is spelled in Truespel. Actually, if you think of it as the A with a consonant and then E, as in make and save, it does make some sense that you have AE there. And the problem with O, it's the least spelling, but the most often way of spelling it is O. Here's the none. Letter Y is the most often way of spelling that sound, is not with any letter, because you have words like mute and cute, and there's no Y there. And then Y is the second most prevalent spelling. We have the THH as in thin. That's the way Truespel spells the unvoiced TH. And it's always spelled with the letter TH, but so is the voiced TH. So there's a problem there. Aw as in auger. Ow as in OU for out. CH is air is interesting because it is a fairly infrequent form. The ERE as in the word there is the most frequent. The letter G is more frequent than the letter J for the J sound. And ZH has no real good way of spelling it in US English. It's usually an S, as in the word vision, and that's the rarest sound. Let's look at some of the results. 77% of English phonemes in print media are spelled in the most popular way. 65% of Truespel phoneme spellings in the boxes are taken from traditional spelling from print. 85% of the Truespel phoneme spellings are taken from the most popular spelling in print. And also, the first top 10 phonemes make up 50% of the sounds in US English text or speech. 20% of the phonemes make up 80% of the sounds, and 30% make up 95% of the sounds, the top 30%. So there are 23 consonants and 17 vowels. 62% of the instances are consonants and 38% are vowels. So we can wrap up here. Take a look at, go back and take a look at this graph. You can see very interesting things. 77%. We're in the first most popular spelling. And you can see a lot of interesting things you never knew before. And if you want to know more, go to truespel.com. And for tutorials, you can go here at the course 2. Thank you very much. This is Tom Zernskis, talking Truespel.